So this is my review of session 2. This was a one-to-one with a 13-year-old lad. The session aim was to improve on shooting, passing, dribbling, and the fundamentals of the technical and tactical aspects of being a footballer. So, like I said on the previous video, my warm-ups are very, very similar each session. So this one just included a range of dynamic stretching, did a light jog of the area. I always give a brief rundown of everything that will be done throughout the session. This is just to ensure that all participants are warm and ready to take part in the session. I will speak to the group or the individual on what the session will look like and ensure that they understand what is going to be done throughout that session. So to start off with, we just did some short to long range passing within the region of 10 to 25 yards. I'll always sort of relate to the participant as well, the uses of different techniques and ways to strike a football depending on the distance it must cover. So for instance, if you're only going short, sharp distances, 5 to sort of 8 yards, you'll probably use the inside of the foot. If you're going a bit longer, whether it be 15 to 25 yards, you're going to sort of use a different technique to give yourself a bit more loft and a bit more power. So instead of using the inside of the foot, you're almost going to use sort of the side, but the toe of the foot, should I say. This will just give it that loft and the power to sort of drive the ball through the air quicker rather than it just rolling across the floor. And it just sort of gives it that power, and it's a very useful technique as well to use within games. So yeah, we did our passing, whether it be 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards, 25 yards. I always just try and tell the lads to stand further back. I'll go further back and we'll open it out a bit and use different techniques. So after that bit of a passing drill, sort of, you could say, at the start, I'll set up 2 cones, about 10 yards away from each other. The participant then dribbled up through each cone, and then turned at the last one and then lofted a pass back into me. This drill was just an incorporation of dribbling, passing, and it also is a bit of disguised running as well, so a bit of fitness just to get us going, which is obviously a very important part of being a footballer. And then the additional activities and progression, we then moved on to a combination of different passing and dribbling drills, such as dribbling around a certain coloured cone and passing the ball back to myself. So the lads I'll sort of set up the cones in almost like a bit of a wonky line to explain it best, and I'll pass the ball to them. They'll then get to the ball, dribble up around that cone, and then pass it back to me. This is sort of just a incorporation of passing, dribbling, and this also is a bit of fitness as well, because they're sidestepping, they're dribbling, they're using all three of them fundamentals of the game in one drill. And then I always just explain the reasons for dribbling a certain way around the cone and then passing off certain feet, depending on the angle that they are and they've come off the cone at. So for instance, if they're going to turn around to their right hand side, so clockwise, they then want to pass it into me with their left foot, because the angle suits that, rather than having to come round the ball and then playing it with their right foot. So, and obviously vice versa, the same the other way. And then after we did a few of them, we did a 3-touch shooting competition, me versus him, as he's quite older than some of the other lads I have. So it sort of gives it again that competitive element of the session. So we did a 3-touch shooting challenge. So I'll pass the ball to the participant. He'll then take a touch, second touch to set himself, third touch to finish. So 1, 2, 3, just like that. And I always just talk about the first touch has got to be a good one, because you want to get it under control. Your second one, you want to then roll it out in front of you so you can get that momentum for the third one to then come and strike on through the ball, and hopefully, like I always say, is hit the corners as well to everyone. That's the place that the keeper's gonna be less likely to get down to and save. And then after that, we finish off with just a little bit of shuttle runs, and then we finish off a bit of crossbar challenge as well, just for some fun at the end of it. And yeah, that was the session. And cool down, just as I do every session, it's just a really light jog around the pitch, just doing a lap, and then come in, do a bit of static stretching, to avoid any sort of injury or muscle soreness. And then I'll always ask the participant for their feedback as well. And he was really happy with this one, and his parents as well gave me some good feedback. They said, because this lad is a winger, so obviously that's why we did the passing, the shooting, and the dribbling. And yeah, they were really happy with the things, but they just said for next time maybe do a little bit more on dribbling, as that's sort of what he's struggling with the most at times. As he gets the ball and he feels a bit lost at times, where he has his head down and he's not sure what to do with it. So I'll incorporate some extra dribbling drills in for the next session. And then yeah, the four key points and sort of four things that I thought beforehand was be obviously passing over different distances, because as a winger you're not always going to just be passing short. You might at times want to sort of cross the ball or switch the ball to the other side of the pitch, so that's why I did that one to start off with. Passing with both feet as well, it sort of incorporates passing, and it is also, you know, links to shooting as well with both feet. And as a winger, you always want to be unpredictable. You don't always want to be primarily one-footed. So if you can go both ways, you can take them down the line and cross it, or you can take them down the line and shoot it. Or if you want to, you can cut inside and shoot, cut inside and pass. So that's why I did that. The third part was, as previously mentioned, we did our free touch shooting challenge. That just gives us a competitive edge of a session, really, because especially as an older lad as well, you know, he's getting to the age where he gets frustrated where he doesn't win. So that gives him the chance to obviously come, train, be competitive, and then go home feeling good if he's won, and you know, then take it into a match on a weekend. And then finally we did just some running, because he's been struggling, he said as well, to sort of find the fitness to get up and down the pitch. And especially as a winger, you've got to be up and attacking, up with the front line, and sort of, you know, be a threat to goal, but you've also got to work back as well and track the opposition fullback to defend as well. That is just the traditional job of a winger. So yes, that is why I did them four things. And yeah, I was really happy with the session there. He seemed to really enjoy it, and some good feedback as well from the parents.